Good evening. I'm Titly. I'm a made for master student. Today, I'm going to present on an experiment that I did during my master thesis on agricultural botany. What motivated me to do this research was a huge global population expansion that is affecting the urban environment and degrading the urban environment. It's causing the emission of greenhouse gas, rising the temperature, and also creating urban heat island. In this graph, you can see how built-up area has been increased from 1989 to 2009, and the vegetation has been reduced in urban areas in Dhaka, which was my research area. In Dhaka, around 60% of total constructions is building area, and which is quite a threat to urban environment. Rooftop garden can be an effective tool to mitigate this urban environment degradation, as it can mitigate urban heat island effects, clean the air quality, and also increase biodiversity. During my research, I have used one plant growth regulator, that is gibberellic acid. It is found that gibberellic acid can increase the production of tomato during summer heat injury, and also it increases fruit setting in summer tomato. It increases its number of leaf per plant and branch number of branch per plant. Another element that I used in my experiment was silicon, which is a nutrient element for plant, and it enhances growth during abiotic stresses like heat, and it also increases the yield, increases the quality of summer tomato. So the objective of my study was to investigate the soil application of gibberellic acid, how they are affecting the morphophysiology and in contributing character of summer tomato in rooftop garden, and also the investigating the effect of soil application of silicon, and to find out the best combination of application of gibberellic acid and silicon so that they can mitigate the heat injury in summer tomato production in a rooftop garden. The experiment was conducted in the rooftop garden of Department of Agriculture Botany of Sheriful Agricultural University, which is located in Dhaka, Bangladesh. And the experimental period was from June 2016 to October 2016. As planting material, I have used summer or hybrid tomato variety. The different combinations of treatment that I used was first of all the control condition, and with 20 parts per million gibberellic acid. Another one was zero point 0.4 millimolar silicon application, and the fourth one was combined application of gibberellic acid and silicon. These are some of the parameters that I considered during my research, and I have included some morphological, some physiological, and some yield contributing and yield characters. I would like to share some of the results from my experiment. First of all, the plant height. The plant height was highly affected by the gibberellic acid. It was increased by it, but it is increased more than the application of silicon. But when I combined the application of gibberellic acid and silicon, the plant height was highest. Next, the number of leaves per plant was found highest during combined application of gibberellic acid and silicon. I have conducted or collected spade value during 3 phases, that's 40 days after transplantation, 50 days after transplantation, and 60 days after transplantation. I'd like to focus on 50 days after transplantation, as during that period I have got the highest spade value. And although silicon increased the spade value, gibberellic acid increased more the spade value, and spade value was highest in case of combined application of gibberellic acid and silicon. However, I collected the data from another morphological character, that is leaf water loss, and found that silicon has reduce the leaf water loss in highest amount, and gibberellic acid increase the leaf water loss even more than the control condition. And when I use the combined gibberellic acid and silicon, the leaf water loss was reduced. Another important characteristics is the number of flower cluster per plant. When I collected the data, I found that the combined application of gibberellic acid and silicon has increased number of flower cluster per plant. Individual fruit weight was collected, and it has been observed that gibberellic acid increases the fruit weight. Silicon although increases the fruit weight, but it's much lesser than gibberellic acid, and the highest fruit weight was found from gibberellic acid and silicon on application, and that is 17.43 gram. Finally, the fruit is per plant, and highest fruited per plant was found from combined application of gibberellic acid and silicon, and that's 159 gram. To conclude, it can be said that the application of gibberellic acid has increased the summer tomato production in a rooftop garden. Also, silicon increased the production, but it was much less than the application of gibberellic acid. And the combined application of gibberellic acid and silicon provided the highest fruit yield per plant. It can also be said that the combined application of gibberellic acid and silicon can mitigate the heat injury in a rooftop garden for summer tomato production. I'd like to recommend, based on my experiment, that repeated trials are needed in rooftop garden to increase production, and experiments can be done in a different variety and also in different seasons. And there is a high scope to conduct research in advanced experiment that how gibberellic acid combinedly with silicon is increasing the yield of tomato. These are some of the references that I have used during my research. Thank you so much for your patience.